Where are the superheroes when we need them? This question actually bears some relevance in regard to the topic of this video, which is a first for me. Whenever tragedy strikes, the first thing that my mind defaults to is like, where can I get a time machine? Or what's Batman's email address? Like, how could we have prevented this from happening? Is there a timeline in which this didn't happen? But on the real, I know those things aren't options. The closest thing we have to superheroes are our law enforcers. So, why is it that they're the ones wreaking the most senseless havoc? We trust these people to protect us from adversity and to uphold a completely unbiased standard of justice before all. And that's a hefty order. I get it. But you'd think that they could at least handle not pointlessly killing unarmed youth. It's not rocket science. It's certainly not like they're up against Marvel or DC villains. These are teenagers. Teenagers. I don't know, it just seems backwards to me. Heaven and hell both know that, one, Batman doesn't use guns, but that he would also never go around slinging the batarang at innocent citizens. And for Christ's sakes, that is a boomerang, not a gun. So what is really going on? So I know I just posted a vlog about a week or so ago, but recently it was brought to my community's attention that a young black male, another young black male, had been shot and killed by a police officer here in my city, Memphis, Tennessee. I'm a little bit surprised, but I'm not insanely surprised. We're one of those cities in which every breaking news story is about someone getting shot or robbed or something horrid. This crime, this is one of those crimes that's going to fuel the revolution that's been growing every day and is growing as we speak. You could say that it started back with Trayvon Martin, but in reality, this has been going on since the dawn of American civilization. Racial profiling, sheer disregard for the life of minority citizens, that kind of stuff. It's not new. But with all this turmoil that's been occurring since Trayvon was shot, you'd think that just maybe young black males would stop being killed by police officers for no reason. But no, that's crazy, right? This shooting in Memphis is extremely new, as in, I just looked it up today, and as of right now, it's only being covered by basically local news outlets. I don't know how big it's gonna get. I don't know what it's gonna ignite in this city or in the country in general. I don't know if they're trying to keep it under wraps to prevent an uproar. Regardless, I'm talking about it, because I can, and because it needs to be talked about. There's so much that's been happening with black people and police lately that does not line up. Black people getting stopped for traffic violations and ending up in jail or dead for some completely different reason. From what I've heard, this kid was in a car with someone, probably one of his friends, who had a broken headlight. The officer stopped the car, addressed the issue, and let the driver go. But this kid, Darrius Stewart, apparently had 2 warrants out for his arrest, so he got placed in the back of the cop car. A little behind the scenes fact though. Darrius had no warrants out for his arrest, but someone with his same name did. He'd been arrested before by police under this misunderstanding. Now back to the story. When the officer went back to cuff him, the kid kicked the door and took the handcuffs, apparently swinging them at the officer. This is where I'm sure you can assume what happened next. The police officer got spooked and shot him. The end. But it's so not the end. This officer has started something that he will not be able to stop. Now before I continue, let me address the fact that I know that Darrius was physically threatening the officer. He didn't need to try to beat him down with his handcuffs. I'm not saying that he was completely out of the wrong. But let me also address something else. Something that is a basic part of police training. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever heard of a taser? It neutralizes your enemy, get this, without killing them. Officers everywhere are like, what? Taser? Girl, you playing. The only way to neutralize a young black male is to kill him, right? And I am by no means saying that every officer out there is like this. I'm not even saying the majority of officers are like this. I'm just saying that fear combined with prejudice can cause anyone to do some irrational things. This kid was my age. He was going to college, like me. He wanted to be a doctor. People out there want to kill the Black Lives Matter hashtag, but incidents like this are only making it more and more valid. The problem with the All Lives Matter hashtag is not only that it was created by people who choose to ignore the real problem, but that it's only further shoving this issue under the rug. Yes, minority races are not the only important races. Everyone should be treated like a human being. But why do all lives matter on social media, but not out there on the streets? Why are black males incarcerated and killed at a much higher rate than white males have ever been in this country? Why do people think that Black Lives Matter is just a publicity stunt or black people trying to make themselves a pity case? This is real. It's really happening. Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown and Darrius Stewart all happened. And this is a trend that has not slowed down. So you can pretend that everyone out there is being treated the same way, and you can even put a fancy hashtag on it. But this is not just barbershop talk, as President Obama said. This is a fact. As minority citizens, we are far more likely to get profiled and harmed than white citizens. You don't need 3 cop cars to talk to an unarmed black male. And I'm not making that up, I've seen that happen. You don't need to imprison a black male for 5 to 10 years on charges of petty theft and then release a white male on claims of mental instability for inciting a massacre of innocent people. I wish nothing but healing for Darrius's family, and for every family that was affected by his death. For every family affected by the death of any person who was so senselessly killed. All lives do matter, but let's start practicing that belief instead of just typing it.